Hey y'all, I'm just coming on here real quick because I want to share something. I just left the nail shop and I had the most interesting conversation. And when I say interesting, it wasn't so much as it was epiphany giving or life giving interesting. It was more so of a very sad realization interesting. And I'll explain what I mean by that. I'm having a conversation with my nail tech and her daughter, and my nail tech is really kind of quiet because it's the end of the day and she's rushing and trying to get stuff done, but her daughter was really chatty and I like the kids, so I tried to stop and just kind of pick young people's minds because I like to see where they're at. So I was talking to her, and she's about 7th grade and she was telling me that she doesn't like school, which what 7th grader does like school. And then she was telling me that she was really good at math, but her favorite subject was gym. And she's clearly a girl after my own heart, minus the math. But something, and it was interesting, I was watching more so the engagement with her mom while I was talking to her daughter. And I have a pretty good rapport with my nail tech, so it wasn't like I was, creeping her mom out about having this conversation. No stranger danger or anything like that. But when her daughter started talking to me about school and I asked her specifically what she wanted to do, she shared with me that she wanted to go to medical school. And my immediate response was, that's amazing. I have a sister that's graduating from her residency program tomorrow. Shout out med school, shouting. And I just began to praise her daughter for having this really fantastic, wonderful career aspiration. And her mom got really quiet. And I took note of that, and her daughter walked away, and I started talking to my nail tech, and I'm talking to her. I was like, how awesome is it that she wants to be a doctor? I was like, she seems like a really sweet young lady. She's got her head on straight. And her mom never looked at me, and she said, I always tell my daughter not to dream too big. Don't dream so big, because if you don't dream so big, you won't have as far to fall. And I listened to her, and my face was just kind of like, eh? And I don't know if it was a cultural thing because, obviously, she and I have different cultural heritage, and so I do acknowledge and respect everybody's cultural difference in background and their right to believe and think certain ways. But I was just shocked that this was the communication coming from a parent to a child. And I don't create this, I'm not creating this video to belittle anyone, but it was more so an indictment for myself, because it makes me stop and think about how many instances in my life that I have been conditioned to play it small, and not from parents or coaches or mentors, but how many times have I, as a grown adult, a whole adult human being, decided to play it small in areas because I was afraid of how far I would fall if I fail. I think the word if is awfully big of a word to hedge your bets on. If I shouldn't go out for this opportunity because what if I don't make it? But what if you do? I shouldn't launch into this area of business because what if people have something negative to say, or what if I don't succeed? But I think that if is a hinge word, and what I mean by a hinge word, I mean that if can swing either way. So most often times people pay attention to the negativity that is associated with the word if, a transition word, but what happens if it swings the other way? And I think a lot of opportunities in life are missed because we play it safe and we're afraid of the failure that could potentially come. It just really struck me, and it was really sad to me to hear that frame of mind or that mentality governing the way a person lived their life and essentially brought about their legacy. Play it safe is the message. Stay cool. Stay within the lines. Stay safe. Those are the words that I took away from that conversation. And if you're listening to this and you found yourself in the midst of my discussion here, I just want to encourage you, don't play it safe. I'm going to encourage you, step out on faith, step out into a place where you're vulnerable. I think vulnerability is one of the most amazing places you can be, because it teaches you how to be self-reflective, but then also teaches you how to become something for the world. If you're vulnerable, you see where you have room to grow and you can make yourself better. I think when we live in a guarded environment, in a guarded state of mind, you can't serve anyone that way, because you're self-focused, you're me-focused. And when I say take the risk and launch out into something deep, I'm obviously not encouraging people to make foolish moves. What I'm saying is, don't stop making moves because you're afraid of where you're going to fall. Sometimes you have to take the risk. And obviously you and whatever higher power you serve has the end all be all say, but I think at the end of the day, you can afford to take some risks, and really in some places you can't afford not to risk. Don't play small. Life is too short for that. Life is too short to gamble on an if. And a lot of times we think about not gambling, we think about not taking risks, but I think in some instances, not taking the risk is a gamble, because opportunities don't just pass you by. For every opportunity that you skip, every opportunity that you let pass, someone else takes it 100% of the time. So opportunities are never wasted. It's just a matter of whether or not you want to take advantage of them. So that was just something I was thinking about today on a random Thursday. I encourage you to live beyond beyond maybe. Take the risk. You never know what's waiting for you on the other side. Just things to think about.